occurred leading up to that event. And then, Jake, I would imagine you'd also disagree with the characterization of Bitcoin Cash as an altcoin. Maybe you wouldn't.
Actually, I would not.
You would not? All right.
No, I think Bitcoin is whatever has the most hash rate behind it, and what the market says is Bitcoin. So as long as that currency remains BTC, then I do think Bitcoin Cash is an altcoin. Although I do think it's very similar to the real Bitcoin, and maybe has the chance of overtaking it.
Arthur, will you explain real quick what you meant by user-activated software?
So essentially, the supporters of SegWit, after I think put it on testnet and said, okay, SegWit's ready for activation, and like 6 or 9 months had gone by, and it was nowhere closer to getting the 95% of the network to say, yes, we support SegWit, we're going to start running this code. So they put forward a proposal which basically was a gun to the head of the network saying, we'll let the users basically signal that they are willing to support SegWit, and that if you don't support SegWit, your blocks can get forfeit. Now, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong on this, because you're probably a bigger expert on this than me. And essentially what the risk was is that if the date came, the flag day, I think it was the 1st of August of this year, and SegWit was not locked in, there was a chain split could happen, and you would have 2 versions of Bitcoin. Now that's not actually a problem. The problem is that if one chain starts as a minority of the hash rate and then overtakes and becomes a majority, it essentially wipes out history of the other coin. Now obviously for an exchange and for the network, that's absolutely a terrible thing to happen, and it can destroy a lot of value. And essentially people were so afraid of that happening that the BIP 91 or the New York Agreement, whatever you want to call it, was pushed through right before the deadline. SegWit, and then SegWit was locked in a few weeks after the UASF flag day. But leading up to that, there was a threat that, okay, if UASF happens, we're going to have a hard fork to a larger block size, because at that point it's the perfect time to go to a larger block size. If there's already a complete clusterfuck, why not add a little bit more to the clusterfuck? So that was what the UAHF hard fork. Now after BIP 91 locked in, everyone thought, okay, great, we're done with this, SegWit's locked in, we can all go and enjoy our summer in the Hamptons. And then the Bitcoin Cash happened, and we had to go back to work again.
So we're running out of time here. Thank you for that, Arthur. But we're running out of time. But I want to get to a little bit of forecasting quickly. So, Jake, what does the future of Bitcoin Cash look like 1 year from now?
I can't predict the future, obviously, but I'm very optimistic about it. I think Bitcoin Cash is kind of the same thing that originally attracted me to Bitcoin, which was global, instant, cheap money, cheap to transact. And I think Bitcoin Cash can